Hello, and thank you for joining us today. We are talking about Bible prophecy. We are talking about the Word of God literally being fulfilled right before our eyes. So we have seen the writing on the wall. We have seen the writing on the wall for our generation. We have seen the literal fulfillment of the Word of God. So let's look at some of that. On 2 Timothy chapter 3, we see that it says that this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. If you go down to verse 8, and it tells you what the people of the last days will do. Now, as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. The people of the last days will resist the truth, following a pattern, following the pattern of the magicians resisting Moses. So as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses. So we have to go to Exodus to see how that played out. Exodus 7:11. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. That is what the people of the last days have done, because that is what the people that is what the magicians of Egypt did when they resisted Moses. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. And we saw from the next verse that it caused them to cast down their rods, and they all became serpents, because that is what Aaron and Moses did. That is what they did. So the people of the magicians, they did in like manner with their enchantments, and the people of the last days have done the same thing. But the people of the last days are not resisting Moses. The people of the last days resist the truth. They resist the truth of Christ. So they have done in like manner to the truth. They have built their own vine. They have made their vine the foundation of their world. It is the cornerstone of their world. It is the light of their world. Their vine is an electric vine. And we can see that. We can see that all around, that they have fulfilled the pattern. So when we look at the electric vine, when we look at electricity, we can see that the electrical wizards are where it began. These electrical wizards is what they were called. I didn't just make up the name. You can see there are books written about them. You can see that there are newspaper reports from Edison's own life, where it had him decked out, dressed, made to look like a wizard of electricity, a wizard of light. And these wizards, these wise men of the modern era, they built the Magic City of 1893, which was the first city built and electrified with alternating current electricity, which the alternating current began their full swing as a huge city, with the statue holding the rod, symbolizing that the people, the wise men of the modern era, are casting down their rods against the truth. And that electricity, the AC electricity, spread throughout the country. And those are all around us. The wires are in our homes. We are consumed, swallowed by the wires, by the vine of Sodom. And when we look at it, those wires are actually called hot. So when we say they did in like manner with their enchantments, they did in like manner with their flame, that is literal fulfillment, because this is their flame. Their enchantments are the vine of Sodom, which is actually called hot. As we have seen, the wires are literally actually called hot. All around us, swallowed up, we are consumed with wires that are actually called hot. It is their flame. It is their enchantment. And we've seen that the vine of Sodom, the word Sodom, means burning. And that is what the wires are. They are part of their vine. For the vine of the last days, for their vine, of the vine of Sodom, which means burning, is the electrical wires called hot, their flame, their enchantments, and of the fields of Gomorrah. And these are literally the electromagnetic fields. And when we look at the fruit, the apple devices that are on the vine, they are literally called fruit. They are named apple. They are fruit, and they run on the iOS operating system. And iOS is a Greek word. It is a Greek word, eos. That word eos is translated rust. One time it is translated poison. Two other times. So the fruit of the vine, is literally running on poison. Their fruit is of poison, fulfilling literally again the word of God from Deuteronomy 32. For their vine, of the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah, their grapes of gall, their clusters bitter. That word bitter, marora, poison. And that is exactly what these are. Their fruit, their grapes are of gall, their clusters poison. And this is literal fulfillment again of the vine of Sodom, because on their vine of Sodom, the fruit, the apple, hanging off the end of it is running on poison, running on the ios, running on eos. And we saw that in James 5:3. Your gold and silver is cankered, which are the devices have gold and silver in them. And the rust, that is the ios of them, the eos of them, shall be a witness against you. It is translated rust here in the context of metals. It is translated poison 2 other times. It is their operating system. It is the rust of them, the ios of them, and it says it shall be a witness against you. And that has been fulfilled. That has been fulfilled right now as you read about it. The ios of them is a witness against you, and it is a witness right now. It is a witness that the vine of Sodom is all around us. It is their power hanging upon their cross. And this literal fulfillment, and I mean literal, like iOS is literally the operating system. iOS literally means poison, and they run on poison. That is what it says. That is literal fulfillment of the Word of God. And when we look at, let's say, a quote from Isaac Newton talking about prophecy, okay? God gave the prophecies. God gave the prophecies not to gratify men's curiosity by enabling them to foreknow things, but that after they were fulfilled, they might be interpreted by the event and his own providence, not the interpreters, be thereby manifested to the world. In other words, God gave the prophecies so that once these things happen, after they were fulfilled, we will know what it is. After they are fulfilled, we will see them come to pass. And that is what has happened. This is not so that we can project some sort of vision for the future, but we see that all around us, the prophecies have been fulfilled. Now let's look at one more quote from Isaac Newton. These 2 quotes are credited to Isaac Newton. About the time of the end, a body of men will be raised up who will turn their attention to the prophecies and insist on their literal interpretation in the midst of much clamor and opposition. And we are there. We are at the time of the end, and we are looking at the literal fulfillment of the prophecies. They are being literal fulfilled all around us, because the writing is on the wall. It is on the wall for our generation. It is on the wall for us now, because we can see the literal fulfillment of the Word of God all around us. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. You can see my other videos on YeshuaIsComing.com or on SignOfFire.com. Thank you very much, and God bless.